By now, if you have covered all the videos that we did in Nmap, you should have an intermediate knowledge of Nmap scanning. And all that's left is some of the options like Nmap scripts, which are part of we will cover in the next videos. And before we proceed, before what's left, first let's try to explain what we did in the previous videos with the -a scan. So as we have mentioned in the previous video, this scan does all the scanning part that we did with Nmap, like OS detection, version scanning, and also the Nmap scripts which we'll cover in the next coming videos. So here is the results that we did, and we can get 3 columns right here: the port, the state service, and the version. All of these results that we get right here are different from the previous videos, and these are the scripts. And we can see right here in the FTP we get the anonymous login, and it is telling us that it's anonymous FTP login allowed, even though this tells us this is secure and file stable, but this is a big lie, and there is definitely a known vulnerability with this version. And we can see other things also, like the open SSH and the enumeration of the host key right here. And we can see we got the SSL supported, and we can also see that port 111, which is the RPC, and we can see also get its version and the service is running, and so on and so on. And we can also see what port 139, which is also associated with NetBIOS, and we can see its version is Samba from 3 point something up to 4 point something. So generally these are the scan that we got from -a. You can see that we got a lot of scripts right here, and we will definitely see that in the upcoming videos. For now, until this now, we did a lot of options, and right now I'm gonna show you the few options that we have left. So to do that, just type man nmap to see the manual of Nmap. And let's go ahead down to the options that we here. You can also the OS detection that we did, the firewall and IDC vision, which we will cover in the upcoming video. And we can also see the target specification with its definition and description. And there are different Nmap scans right here, and if I scroll all the way down, I can get this -sn. This scan is just like net discovery. If you remember, we use it to net discovery to discover all the hosts that are running our network, and it's telling that this option tells Nmap not to do a port scan after host discovery. So this is not very good to do a vulnerability scanning. It only does to discover hosts which are up and running in our network. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna clear this, and if I type sudo nmap-sn and the IP address of our metasploitable, which is 192.168.88.247, if I press enter, and I'm gonna type in my password, and it's telling us host is up, and we can see the IP address right here, which is 192.168.88.247. The only host that is running is this one, and it only managed to discover the one host which is running, and that is our metasploitable. And another option that I want to mention is the -p. So if I type my command right here, sudo nmap-p, this will scan the port ranges. So if I want to scan one port, let's say I want to scan port 80, and if I type sudo nmap-p 80 and the IP address of our target mission 168.88.247, and I'm gonna press enter, and it will go ahead and scan only port number 80, and it tells us this is the service is running in this port is protocol HTTP. So this is how we can try to scan one port. what if you want to scan multiple ports? For example, let's say I want to scan 3 ports, let's say port 80, and you can use the comma to separate the port numbers, port 22, and I'm gonna port 100, and if I press enter, it will only scan the port numbers that are specified right here, and the ports are port 22, and the service is running is SSH, and port 80, the service is running is HTTP, and port 100, and the service is running is new account. And if you want to scan a range of ports, you can specify it by doing the numbers. Let's say I want to scan the first 100 ports. So if I type sudo nmap-p, sudo nmap-p from 1 up to 100, and I type in my target's IP address, and it will go ahead and scan the first 100 port numbers which are mostly used. And as you can see, it only managed to scan from port 21 up to port 80, which is in the range between 1 and 100. And we can also get the ports, the whole ports. And in the previous videos we mentioned there are over 65,000 ports. And if I do the command right here, sudo nmap-p from 1 up to 65,535, and type my target's IP address, 88.247, and I'm gonna press enter. And in this scan, it will definitely take some more time because we are scanning the whole port numbers right here. And if I press my upper arrow key here, and it will tell us its progress. Right now it's in 14.98, and let's try to give it a minute. Okay, it's done right now, and as you can see, we got the different scans from our previous videos, and it managed to the scans from all the port numbers that are out there. And we can see that we got other ports right here. So whenever you want to really find out everything about target, use this scan, which is the -p from 1 up to 65,535. In here you can find everything that's out there you want to find about your target, since it scans all the port numbers whether it's are open or not. Okay, cool. Let me show you one more option before we proceed to the next video, and that option is how to output an Nmap scan. So there are two ways that you can do that. First, let me clear this to make it better. And the first way is sudo nmap. I'm gonna do a scene scan. Remember, a scene scan, and I enter my target's IP address, and I'm gonna output it. And to output it, just use this double arrow and give it a name. I'm gonna call it output.txt, and I'm gonna press enter. And if I type ls, and I can see my output here. And if I use the cat command to see it, .txt, I can get its result right here. So this can be very helpful for future references, and you can put it in your report. And the second way that we can use the option for output file is the command can be sudo nmap -on, and the file's name, I'm gonna call it outputs, and I'm gonna do a scene scan and put my target's IP address. So this option right here will output your result to this file name, and the scan will be a scene scan. So this whole command will be sudo nmap-on, which is the option to output it, and the scene scan in your target's IP address. I'm gonna press enter. By the way, this not will only output it, but will also output it in your terminal and output it in a text file. So I'm going to press enter here, and voila, as you can see right here, it's outputted in a terminal and it also outputted in a file. So if I press ls here and see this file right here, it's outputted in this file, and I'm gonna see it by using the cat command and cat outputs, and you can see here that is outputted right here, and this can be very helpful for future references. Okay, great. This is just some of the basic Nmap scan that I wanted to mention, since you might it useful. By now, as I have already told you, you should consider yourself an intermediate Nmap scanner. Now, to take this to the advanced level, we are going to check out how we can bypass firewalls, IDS and IPS using Nmap scans. So see you then.